Morphin Legacy presents The Grid.
Howdy, Ranger Nation. This is Shadow22, Vice President of MorphinLegacy.com. Welcome you to episode 162 of The Grid, where we'll be discussing all the news we've gotten over the past couple weeks about
Revolution, mighty Rangers rise.
Joining me in this episode is Austin.
Hi.
Before we start our discussion, I would like to shout out our Patreon at patreon.com/thegridpr. Subscribing to our Patreon helps us pay for things and honestly motivates us into releasing exclusive content, like great commentaries and releasing episodes on there a day or two early. We'd also like to warn you that the episode will have spoilers. So if you want to go into Cosmic Fury spoiler-free, turn this off and come back after you watch it on Netflix September 29th. So with that, you ready, Austin?
Ready.
Ranger of Knowledge, Grid Ranger Metallic, Silver.
Ranger of Queerness, Grid Ranger Metallics, Rosé.
Grid
Ranger Slay, ready to save the day.
Alrighty, so let's talk about the info we got August 17th, which was the Power Ranger Cosmic Fury theme song and first opening.
Cosmic fury, Morphin, in outer space, time to save the human race. Morphin, Power Ranger, Cosmic fury, Morphin, billion miles away, powers will illuminate. Morphin, Power Ranger, Cosmic fury, evolution, mighty Rangers rise. Cosmic fury.
Alright, wasn't that great, Austin?
I like it a lot. I keep humming it, so.
It's very catchy. It's very similar to the Dino Fury theme song, but there's a little more oomph to it because they're in outer space. They're trying to save the human race and all that stuff.
I feel like it elevates the Dino Fury theme. The Dino Fury theme took me a minute to get used to just because it was so plain. Not necessarily in a bad way, it was just very different.
It was very short. A lot of it is just Go Go Power Rangers Dino Fury. This one has actual lyrics to it.
And I love the lyrics. I think they're great.
And speaking of Go Go Power Rangers, this is the first theme song in 12 years to not feature Go Go Power Rangers in it?
It feels refreshing. And I get the clutch of wanting that brand recognition, but you don't always need to use it.
Some theme songs kind of made it work, like Dino Charge, and that's probably it. Well, I mean, Beast Morphin's Dino Fury are pretty decent, but Dino Charge was like the one theme song that had its own identity while at the same time using the Go Go theme.
Ninja Steel did that too, but it was too long.
The Ninja Steel theme song feels like it ends 3 times.
I like, not necessarily so much like the Samurai and Megaforce remixes, but when they make their own theme and kind of just incorporate that chorus into it, I think that's fun.
Yeah, I'm honestly okay with that. I don't like it when it's just, Go Go Power Rangers with just like Rangers, blah, 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 da, 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 da. That's kind of lazy.
But Cosmic Fury, I really like it a lot. I think it's probably my favorite theme since Dino Charge, honestly.
Yeah, me too. We also got 2 cast members revealed in Cosmic Fury, which are pretty interesting. First up, we have Jacqueline Joe, who played Fern in Dino Fury, aka Izzy's girlfriend. So she's heading out to outer space.
So slay.
But interesting thing about her opening is that she has a purple aura.
Because they don't want to spoil anything.
Speaking of spoiling things, whoa, we have David Yost coming back as Billy Cranston.
I feel so bad that he can't talk about it.
I know, oh my gosh. For those unaware, the Screen Actors Guild and the Writers Guild are currently on strike, so they can't talk about anything right now.
Because this is his first time back since Zeo, and Once and Always.
Well, yeah, not counting Once and Always. It wasn't that big of a surprise he came back, because he came back for Once and Always, and we knew he was in New Zealand for a little longer than the rest of the MMPR cast, so we figured he might be in an episode or two, but according to Entertainment Weekly, he will be a mentor mentor to the Cosmic Fury Rangers.
That is amazing.
And maybe aid out in the field of battle because there was shots of him morphed too.
In the opening and something else we'll talk about in a bit.
Yeah. He was also planned before Once and Always was even a thing.
I think that's so cool. Once and Always, at the end, hinted at him going out to space.
Can I get you anything while I'm away? A souvenir from Miranoi, maybe.
All right, so let's talk about some interesting tidbits from the opening.
So all the credits, the shots where it says, Russell Curry as Zato, blah, blah, blah. It's still their Dino Fury little pose and smile. Except for Ollie, who is not smiling.
He's very nooch. So we figure that he might be evil because that's the rumor.
Yeah, the rumor is he is evil most of the series. It also still shows everyone in their Dino Fury forms, and Zato is the Ghost Ranger from the season 2 finale.
They clearly don't want to spoil anything. They don't want to show any Cosmic Fury power at the moment.
I do like that they're not letting the theme song spoil things. I don't think it amounts to much, but I think that the care they take to it does show. So I appreciate that.
It's nice that they want to keep things from spoiling, even though some places can't really help that, especially some official places releasing shit.
And Simon Bennett did say that the opening's gonna change, obviously.
Another interesting tidbit from the opening is that we see Lord Zed on a fierce throne.
I love a good throne.
And we also learned from Entertainment Weekly that his base is going to be set on Eltar.
That is crazy to me.
I mean, the fact we've never seen Eltar before, this is going to be the first time in the show that we're going to be seeing Eltar. So I'm interested to see what it looks like in the show's version.
I'm really excited for that. The concept of Q Ranger was that villain faction is taking over the universe with stations everywhere. So I like that his main station is on Eltar.
Also, another interesting tidbit from the opening is that in Javi's little credit thing, we see that he has the robotic arm in his Dino Fury suit. So whatever happens to that arm, it happens pretty early.
That arm is so hot. I don't know what it is.
I'm just intrigued by it. What the fuck happened to it?
Do we think it's a power-up, or do we think that he full of just gets his arm chopped off?
Well, I don't think it's going to be chopped off.
Well, why is he wearing it unmorphed too?
It's TVY7. Maybe he got it injured? I feel like that could be possible. We also see him holding Master Red's staff, the Red Morphin Master, so maybe he held it. It was too powerful and it kind of fucked it up.
Oh. Yeah. The opening also showed us some new villains. So we got 2 new original squid villains that look pretty similar. So maybe they're cousins or twins or something, or siblings.
They're definitely from the same species, because I thought that they were going to be the same character, but like emotions, like how Cosmo's face changed sometimes. But these are 2 different characters.
So one of them has more of an angry face, and the other one is more mellow and has big lips.
And that one has an interesting thing we'll talk about in a minute.
Mm-hmm. And then the other one is a blue squid villain from Q Ranger called Ikargan.
He was one of the assassins. Do you remember Madako? She was a squid villain that kind of looked similar to these 2 villains. I hope they don't replace Madako because I really liked Madako's design.
There's another Q Ranger villain that we know about that we'll talk about later.
But even more things related to the opening that were revealed is that we saw the Cosmic Fury Megazord cockpits. They're essentially the Q Ranger cockpits with new symbols. So let's talk about the cockpits we saw. First up, we saw Amelia in the red cockpit and Lion Zord.
Still has Dino Fury Pink.
Ion, who is still Dino Fury Gold, was in the yellow cockpit / Sark Zord. Izzy's in the green cockpit, the Camellia Zord. And Billy is in the blue cockpit / Wolf Zord, which isn't the first time he's piloted a Wolf Zord.
That's amazing. I love that.
And we also saw through Simon Bennett's Instagram that Ion will be piloting the Blue Bear Zord.
I like the symbols they did, because obviously they changed the Swordfish Zord to a Shark Zord, so they had to fix the symbol.
The symbols look a lot more detailed than the Q Ranger one, so yeah, I like it.
They're definitely like touched up. They look really good.
But speaking of Zords, we've also saw some extra Zords. Clearly, they're going to be double dipping in cockpits and stuff. We got a pink bird Zord, and we got a gold and silver Zord, which I hope Steele and Nate are piloting, considering Abraham Rodriguez was seen in New Zealand.
I will literally pass away. I don't know what I would do with myself.
It's just so easy to. Come on, we know General Shaw's going to be showing up in Cosmic, so.
I ask for so little.
And the actor for Steele lives in New Zealand, so come on.
And Izzy's a steel stan. We also got our first poster, which is gorgeous.
It is very beautiful. Holy shit, so colorful.
That's coming from someone who still doesn't really care about these suits. It's so pretty.
But what's on the poster, Austin?
This was our first look before promo pics later of the Cosmic Fury suits live action with the helmets on. We also see some planets on the poster. So there's a blue one that might be Aquitar or Eltar, maybe.
I feel like Aquitar is the more possible one because Billy.
That's true. He was probably going there following Once and Always. The green planet, girl. Miranoi.
Oh, please. It's so easy to do. It's just a jungle.
Come on. And then the drill ships from Q Ranger are on the poster as well. So there's one like floating in space by a planet, but then there's also some on the planets.
And they have the ability to transform into robots. So in Q Ranger, each planet had a commander on each planet that ruled it for dark matter. So I feel like maybe Zed's trying to do that for the universe.
That's a good way to utilize that, yeah.
Maybe a new version of the United Alliance of Evil. That would be nice.
Ooh.
We also see Lord Zed's new foot soldiers, which look very nice. We only saw a head of one a few months ago when Simon Bennett just randomly posted it, but they are silver-colored foot soldiers that have Zed's face and have some sort of squid insignia on them that's been all over the place. This season is very squid heavy in the villains.
So the hentai lovers are going to be totally into this season.
Squid porn.
I like them. They make me think of Quantrons.
Oh yeah, they have those little, whatchamacallit.
Circuit lines.
They're probably robots.
Well, yeah.
We also have a red variant, so that's very similar to the Armada, because there's like the main foot soldier and they have the lead foot soldier. And interesting enough, they're using the secondary foot soldiers from Q Ranger, because one of them was shown in the opening, so that's interesting. They're probably doing that so they could use Sentai Zord footage. And they look fine too, because I'm glad they made original foot soldiers for this season, because the Q Ranger foot soldiers, you're not good.
Girl, they are wearing like neon colored motocross gear. God, it's terrible.
I mean, the head's fine, but the little tracksuit they wear, ugh, that was nasty.
As much as I love the designs in Q Ranger, those were the worst.
So, like I said earlier, we have a release date too for Cosmic Fury, which is September 29th. And we also have a plot description revealing some interesting tidbits. Lord Zed has escaped, and this time his rampage extends to the farthest reaches of space. The Rangers need to find new Zord and new powers to face Zed's latest threat, and they won't do it alone. Joined by some familiar faces, plural, they will discover the power of the cosmic orbs. So that's the new gimmick of the season, and become the Cosmic Fury Rangers, armed with new uniforms, new weapons, and an entirely new fleet of Zords. Go, go, Power Rangers!
I really hope the familiar faces. I mean, obviously, there's the rumors of. Do we want to say that right here?
Spoilers! Spoilers! Spoilers!
So there's rumors of Heckle returning as the Dark Ranger.
That is the most hyped thing.
Mick is also confirmed to be returning.
That is confirmed. That is not a spoiler. He was in a preview clip.
I'm hoping for Nane still. I'm holding out.
Why would he be at the Cosmic Fury rap party if he's not in the season? That makes no sense to me.
That's my thing, because the rumor was, sorry, don't expect Nate in Cosmic Fury. Why did he go to New Zealand? Why? That just makes no sense to me.
Especially since we didn't get a Beast Morphers crossover last season. If we get Nate and Steel, I'm fine.
We also got some press photos. So the first one is the main 6 Rangers in their Cosmic Fury suits, helmetless.
Which I feel like we should have gotten months ago. We should have gotten this image when the suits were revealed.
I think they look better, but I'm still warming up to them.
I feel like they need capes. They all need capes, in my opinion. And something on the chests.
I would be okay with plain chests. I think my biggest deterrent is the molded muscles. If they were just flat, I think I would have been totally fine. Yeah, they would have been plain, but they're fine. We got the second press photo that is Billy Cranston in Dino Henge with helmetless Amelia, Ion, Javi, and Izzy, and they're holding their weapons.
Interesting enough, Ollie is not present.
Well, he's in the next one, but black leather, you're sus. You're so sus. This is their civilian clothes, so Amelia is in a red leather jacket, which is So slay. Javi has his robot arm unmorphed. Zato has some silver colored robes on. Ion looks like he's wearing a gold jumper. Izzy's blocked, but she's wearing like a green sweater.
I feel like she's more into comfort than fashion.
Oh, girl, same.
Lastly, we have Ollie in the black leather jacket with the dark blue shirt. Totes not evil, guys. Alright, so cut to a few days later, and we got an image from Simon Bennett of the cast and crew that he immediately took down because there were a shit ton of spoilers in this. For one, we see Fern wearing an orange shirt, and we have a suit actor in the photo that is wearing mixed red Ninja Steel Ranger suit with the silver sash.
I love that confirmation that he is gonna morph. I think that's awesome.
It was kind of infuriating that he only got to morph once in the entire show.
Girl, don't get me started on Ninja Steel.
But now we're in the era of we can film whatever the fuck we want, so we can do whatever the fuck we want, so we're not a slave to the footage. So.
2 days after that photo, we got a 12-second clip that was shown in what's coming to Netflix in September trailer. It shows the Dino Fury Rangers, Amelia, Izzy, and Ion morphing. Billy, Mighty Morphin Blue, is next to them. There's some kind of stone slab in the background behind them featuring the Q Ranger symbols.
So we are to assume this is probably the journey they're taking to get those cosmic orbs from Zed so they can get their cosmic fury powers in Zords.
Speaking of Zed, we got a villain shot. Lord Zed front and center. Might be his new voice, or it could have been one of the other villains. If it is Zed's voice, I mean, it's not much to go off of.
All he says is, "Ha! Hilarious!"
We got another look at one of the squid villains who is wearing a shirt with Zed's face on it and taking a selfie.
They are clearly a Lord Zed stan.
I absolutely am obsessed with that concept.
I am thinking that Zed probably teamed up with this squid villain, or the squid villains, and they probably were the ones that made the foot soldiers, because the foot soldiers have that squid insignia on them, and they're squid, so I assume they made foot soldiers based off Zed because they're Lord Zed stands.
The other villain in the shot next to Zed is another Q Ranger villain, Cuckoo Ruga. So maybe he is kind of like the HBIC of the squid villains, and then Zed steps in, and he gets demoted to second in command with the two other squiddies.
Either that, or he's just rounding out a lot of villains from the galaxy.
I am glad they used some Q Ranger villains.
They're gonna have to if they're using Zord footage, but we saw other villains from other seasons too, so they're whipping out everything. There's a confirmation of a Duodra villain and a Lupato monster, so it's gonna be wild. I cannot wait. But speaking of some crazy shit, the same fucking day, Netflix Live released some super spoilery press photos.
Girl.
So the first press photo is from episode 3, and it's Amelia helmetless in the base. Looks like she just probably unmorphed and just like got rid of her helmet. Press photo 2 is from episode 4. We see Amelia, Javi, Izzy, and Ion getting ready to morph. No Ollie, so yeah, evil. This third press photo is the Cosmic Fury Rangers posing with their weapons. Fierce. But oh my god, the next image, holy fucking shit.
It's so slay.
I am questioning what the fuck is going on in this one. So we see the Cosmic Fury Rangers dressed up as villains. They are in villain attire. They are either undercover or evil. Hopefully they're undercover on Onyx. I want to see Onyx. I swear to god if we don't see Onyx.
I know.
And they're all in old villain outfits too. So we see Amelia dressed up in the Court Witch's dress from Dino Supercharge. We see Izzy dressed in a green and black dress. Which dress? Oh, they must have been like fucking had to convince her to wear a fucking dress. She has some headpiece in her hair, and she has her mouth painted to look like a skinless jaw.
Ugh.
So maybe that was the agreement that she got to have her mouth painted like that if she had to wear a dress. Ion is dressed in Robo Blaze's black jacket from Beast Morphers. We also see that white face Cinch has on his chest from Dino Supercharge. Javi is kind of wearing a basic look, but he has a robot arm, so I forgive it.
I mean, he looks so hot. It's like a black poncho and his hair's all disheveled. Ugh.
And he's wearing like a bone necklace. Last one is from episode 9. We see 5 Cosmic Fury Rangers posing with their morphers. Included here is Ollie with his black leather jacket, possibly coming back from being evil. And we also see Fern there, wearing a morpher and wearing an orange shirt. We were wondering that whole day, she's orange, and literally the next day, take it away, Austin.
The next day, we got BTS pictures that leaked. There was no official announcement. It just leaked. At Red Ranger fan page on Twitter found these pictures of Fern and Amelia posing with their suit actors in the suits. So Fern is 1000% confirmed to be orange.
The orange Cosmic Fury Ranger, our first ever Orange Ranger in the show.
The suit is basically identical to Amelia's, except it's orange. She has the skirt, which thank God. That was the thing I wanted from this suit, was the skirt. I got that, so I can't complain too much. The helmet is basically Amelia's, just with some different horns down the center and an additional silver horn at the front. The visor and everything else is entirely the same.
It's very similar. I'm glad they changed it a little bit, because if it was identical, I would have problems. But there is embellishments here and there on the helmet. I would have changed the eye color for the helmet, but
I would have preferred a different visor style, but what are you going to do?
they're basing this off Ruth Soldier stuff. There's nothing to base it off, so. And Sentai has done that in the past, too. Zyuohger had an Orange Ranger that was near identical to the Red Ranger. And then the Ninja used the red helmet with the female green, so it's nothing we've seen before.
It's a tradition from Sentai, so.
Okay, so the last day in our jacket is Power Rangers Day.
Yesterday, as at the time of recording this.
We didn't get much. We were hoping for a trailer, but all we got was a preview clip from the first episode of Amelia in her pink Dino Fury Ranger suit, recapping the finale of Dino Fury to Mick. Also, Mick confirmed.
I feel two ways about this. On one hand, I'm glad nothing else was necessarily spoiled. I don't want to know too much. At the same time, it felt like getting nothing.
I feel like this would have meant more if we didn't know Mick was coming back, but we knew Mick was coming back, so it felt like nothing.
This clip is Amelia just recapping Dino Fury. Yeah, I know, I watched it. Didn't need to be the clip we saw.
I guess it's a clever way to inform people. Dino Fury aired a year ago. Literally a year ago. It ended a year ago. We haven't gotten anything since, except for Once and Always. But some people forget, but I feel like maybe they could have put it in the opening narration or something. They could have had an opening narration of previously on Power Rangers.
The clip looked unfinished to me. There was no color correction. This has to be turned in already. Are they still working on it?
Simon Bennett said it was done in July, I think, like a month ago. His crew finished it.
So that's my concern of this clip. It really does look like they didn't add anything to the footage.
Void Queen's eyes are purple in the clip for some reason, instead of blue.
What a weird thing to change.
And lastly, we also got something else from Simon Bennett. He posted this on Threads. He posted a wanted poster for an original character named Janet, which was a Once and Always character that was scrapped. So they're using it here, which is pretty cool.
Damn it, Janet.
She does look very cool. She looks very fierce. I'm kind of sad there's no suit.
My thing about original things for Power Rangers is the villain designs, since Hasbro took over from Beast Morphers, have always slapped. I wish they could reflect that same innovation and creativity in the Power Rangers costumes.
Scrazzle slays, Solon slays. So yeah, that's all the news we've got in the past couple of weeks. So I guess the last thing to point out is that we will be doing live reactions for all 10 episodes, but we are splitting them in 2 parts. So we're going to have the first part come out with the first 5 and the next part come out with the last 5, depending on how we feel after, because this is going to be 4 hours of recording. We may get the first episode out the day of. I'm not promising anything. Maybe the day after. We'll see. We'll get those out as soon as possible.
Hopefully same weekend, but we'll see.
Alrighty, so that's the end of our Cosmic Fury catch-up. We'll see you next time for a brand new episode of The Grid, but until then, everybody say bye!
Bye!
Bye! Bye-bye.
This has been a Morphin Legacy production, bitches!